How long you think it was gonna take before we got here? Now you gotta prove yourself all over again. Come on.
Ain't nobody coming, I've been gunning from 100 yards, trying to hit my mark, missing every time. This will be the start of the picture perfect. Watch you.
Well, gentlemen, we're here. Kentucky Derby Day. Can you believe it?
That's right. Yes, we get.
right.
Oh, yes.
That's unbelievable. I got off to a decent start yesterday on the Churchill card. Kind of cooled off a little bit, and then too many of my next picks were winning for me yesterday. Like the next one over and over. Yeah. Anyway, today will be a better day for sure.
Well, I started yesterday pretty good too at Churchill, but like you, I cooled down at the end.
Yeah.
Well, I did the same thing.
Yeah, but I did real well at Golden Gate Fields and Santa Anita, so that made up for it.
Well, there's a lot of racing today. I think every track, because I was, doing the handicapping and of course doing some other stuff for horse racing today, where we put up some stuff as well. It seems like every track wanted to run today on the planet. Like if there's a track in the United States today, they're running.
Oh yeah,
there's no question, right?
Yeah. Pocatello, Idaho, they're running too today. So
I mean, I think if there's a track running today, if there's a track by you, you don't even have to call. They're open. There's no question about that.
Well,
so they're off and running today now at Churchill. So we're going to go ahead. I figured, the pick six, why not? 6 races. We'll cover them anyway, see what's happening over there. And then we'll take a good shot at trying to hit a pick six. I think there's a chance to hit the pick six in here today, guys. What do you think?
Yeah, I do. I think there is.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be hard. I think there's one race that you could single, and the rest you cannot single. I think there's only one single today.
Yeah, I agree with you, Charles.
Well, I was going to single another one that I like a lot today, but we'll get to that. So let's get started first off with our hot dog pick four. It's kind of a little bit of a preview from what we have. We've got a $20 budget in here. So let's look at the hot dog pick fours. The first up is Charles. Charles, you spent $19.20. I think we all kind of have a sense on which race is that single in there, and that's going to be this one right here with Cody's Wish, right? That's about it.
That's it.
And then same for you, Terry. You didn't single up. Well, you singled up to 5 in race number 9. Who's that?
Actually, I didn't do the hot dog pick 6. I didn't get around to it. I was doing scratches and things like that.
All right. Well, Terry doesn't have them. All right, cool. That's good, because then he can't he can't be wrong. You gotta know that, right?
I mean, I can do one real quick if you want, but
yeah, go ahead, throw one up in there. We'll come back to it. So I here's mine, $19.20. I think I singled up Cody's Wish 2 in race number 10. So that's where we have a $20 budget. And then we also do one with a $100 budget. The $100 budget, Charles, once again, taking the opportunity to single Cody's Wish. To me, that is the key to the ticket right there, is that Cody's Wish, Charles. What do you say?
Yeah, I think that is. I mean, you have to put a single somewhere. So that's the one that's the horse I trust the most.
In the entire card, yeah, today. I feel like, well, first of all, what do you guys think about Forte scratching? I know a lot of people said he took a bad step. The rumors were that he was going to be out. They had videos of him running around yesterday. Looked pretty good. And then I guess today, no, huh?
Well, I watched the video this morning when the vets tested him. And yeah, he was slightly off, very slight. And when the vet touched his foot, he flinched. So yeah, right when I saw that, I went, "Oh yeah, he's out."
He's out. Well, it's a shame, because that kind of changes up the entirety of the card, right? The horse went and ran all those races, did phenomenally well, and couldn't get to the race, unfortunately, because of one bad misstep. Here's Terry. You did the hot dog, the prime rib too, right?
I did, yes.
Terry going 4 by 3. By 3, by 1, by 3, by 4, getting a little bit of coverage in every race. So for all of us, man, it's we might as well just bet $100 on Cody's Wish to win, because I'll have it in there as a single. But what do you think it's going to go off at? 3 to 5, 4 to 5? What do you think?
I personally think like probably 2 to 5.
Yeah, me too.
2 to 5. Yeah, well, me probably as well. All right, Terry, did you put your hot dog in or no?
I'm doing it right now.
All right, perfect. So while you do that, there you go. So you can see it live, folks. You got to love it. It's 4-10 with the 1 and the 9 and the 12. There you go. Next up, this is what I like about this. So first race in the series is race number 7. 5.5 furlongs, the Twin Spires Turf Sprint Stakes. For race number 7, Charles, let's talk a little bit about what horses in a sprint might make it to the front while Terry does this. So race number 7, take us through the Simulated odds, simulated early speed in the C zone.
All right. When it comes to who's going to have the speed at the quarter pole, who's going to get there first, it looks like maybe the 8 might get there first, around 25% chance of getting there, especially with that 13 being scratched out of here today. It sets it up probably a little bit more for that horse, the 8. And then when it comes to simulation odds, we're going to try to find some overlays here. It looks like, yeah, the 11 is just slightly under 2-1. We've got a morning line of 8-1. So that's a good little overlay there, if you ask me.
Yes, it is a nice little overlay. And a couple of horses in here, about 4 or 5 of them, strong C zone scores, meaning the pace should set up nicely for them in this particular spot today. Terry's hot dog pick 6 is in right there, $14.40. Not bad. Only putting 2 horses in the back end of the prime, the hot dog pick 4. All right, so let's go ahead, guys, and one last thing, and then we'll go ahead and we'll start putting our tickets together. Well, let me just say this. And our prime rib for our team pick 6, should we just go to race number 7 and just put in the 10 and put in the 7?
Oh, I think so.
I do too. I think
right.
that's.
And do we want to put any other horse in race number 7, or just come back to that when we get to race number 7?
I don't think we have to come back.
You don't think we have to come back?
Put the 10 off to the side.
And off to the side. We'll come back to that then when we get there. So, all right, the turf sprint race. One last thing here, quick. Let's go ahead and rewind over here to what the race shape might look like in race number 7. So we see here you have a few horses in there, the bunch that want to be on the front. The 1, the 2, the 6, the 8, the 12, the 14. Let's take a look and see which one of those might actually be on the lead. Looks like Katori, the 12 horse, has a shot. It looks like a lot of speed to me, guys. Looks like if we're gonna be a race where maybe having a little bit of a closer, that lone closer sitting back here, Evan Singh could be in a good spot to come run him down at the end if they all go flying out early on. The early pace, late pace combination belongs to the 12 horse. Karatari at 184 points. Motorious, Big Invasion, and Rest Me Red. That quartet is a little bit of an advantage over the rest. All right, Charles, we'll let you start off with the pick 6 today for the team pick 6. Who are we starting with?
The 4.
Number 4.
The 4 won his last time out. Clement and Rosario, just a combo. That's a trainer-jockey combo. That's excellent. Clement gets 21% when he rests him up 46-plus days. So, and he's got some solid works in there. I think he's ready to roll and take advantage of that hot pace up there. I think he could be able to sit like 3rd all the way around.
And what do you say, Mr. Terry?
Yeah, I agree with that. This is my second pick. Never out of the money during his career. He's won 7 out of 9 starts. So,
yeah, 7 out of 9. And the distance today suits too. Look, 7 times out, 6 wins and a second. The only little concern for me in here is that we're running is in a this one is a grade 2, and the few times that Big Invasion has found its way into graded stakes company, you see right here, kind of ran off the board, and that was the only time. And over here too, did manage to win one there. Yeah,
grade 3 there. Yeah.
First off the bench, that was a grade 3 win right there. First off the bench here for Big Invasion was a win as well. And in the debut, the horse finished second. So, yeah, guys, I think when you look at it all the boxes check, as Terry likes to say. So I'm good with the 4 horse. Let's put him in there. No veto yet, Charles.
Okay. No veto. Why Charles right away?
Terry, well, I figured I better beat you to the punch because I know you can't wait to veto me somewhere along the line. But, Terry, what do you got? Well, you said 4 was your second pick. So,
yeah, I like your first. Number 10, Arrest Me Red. He finished 3rd in his last race and has a bullet workout on April 29th.
And then, Charles, your thoughts about Arrest Me Red?
It's my 3rd choice. I think, the horse has a shot here. The horse ran 3rd last time. Second start after a layoff. You got the Ward-Irad combo. I mean, no one's hotter in sprints and, young ones, although this one's a 5-year-old. No one's hotter than sprints and than Ward. So,
yeah, indeed. Well, looking at it here, the last time the horse had a second start off a layoff, it did a little bit of a regression, not a whole lot. One of the things I kind of like about this horse in these short sprint races, One of the things you want to see is a horse that makes a pretty solid mid-move. Look at all these mid-move numbers in here. Really nice. So I think as they head into the turn, Rest Me Red and IRAD will be rolling towards the finish line, trying to gain some momentum coming out of the turn. You do have that bullet workout, Terry, that you mentioned back here, although it's only the fastest of 5, so I don't put that much weight into it. Little concern for me in this respect on the horse is when you look at the speed figures, there is some regression going down here. So let's see, has the horse regressed 3 times in a row before? Does not look like in this list it has. So I think the bullet workout is an indication that maybe, but the time is at that the horse is going to reverse form in here. I like the 10 too, Terry. So we'll put him in there. Charles, what do you say?
I'm fine with that. Yeah.
All right. I like the 11 horse. That's where I'm going to go next. I was going to do the 7, but I think the 7 is scratched right in here.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, Nothing Better. Yes, Nothing Better is out. So Notorious was, when we looked at the simulations, was one of the best overlays of the day. Coming out of Santa Anita last time out, ran triple digits. I don't know. I don't remember anybody else. Well, there's one in here hitting triple digits, although those Santa Anita numbers sometimes can be a little bit elevated. Right, Charles? You were out there.
Oh, yeah. Those could be elevated, is correct.
Indeed, for sure. But nonetheless, you can see overall the horse is trending in the right direction. Last time it came off the bench, did win. Would like to see the horse a little bit more forwardly placed than you're going to see there. Second off the bench in here. Over in England, ran on a heavy track. Didn't like it so much. Did seem like it fired a little bit on the good track. So I think the footing is going to be key here. And I think if I remember correctly, it's firm today. Isn't it correct, Charles?
Yes.
So I think you're going to see Notorious like the firm footing and be one that could live up to that overlay. You going to veto me, Charles?
No, I definitely will not.
I like it. The 11's my third choice. You know, he won his last race at Santa Anita, and he got the highest last race speed rating.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't hit my top 4, but after my top pick, I had a hard time. So, yeah, I think he's definitely worth looking at.
Okay, well, that's 4, 10, 11. Didn't make your top 5, Charles. So where else were you thinking?
I like that 6 a little bit.
Tell us why.
There's a price for one thing. Second thing is he has speed. Ran second last time out. Likes the turf. Likes the distance. So it makes him very dangerous in this.
And what are your thoughts, Mr. Terry?
Yeah, I hadn't picked it. Actually, my next one would be the 3. He won his last race at Fairgrounds, and he has a bullet workout also.
So we're starting to get a little bit of a disagreement, huh? 6 and 3. Here we go. Let's put on the gloves, baby. It's a big fight night in UFC. We could put Charles and Terry on the undercard. What do you say? Cejudo and Sterling.
I'm too old for that stuff.
You like Evan Singh? I kind of like Evan Singh in here too, Terry, for one reason and one reason only. And that, well, a primary reason. Let's go with the main reason I like the 3 horse in here.
Okay.
So if you look at this race shape we talked about here, you got tons of speed. You have pressure closers. So these are usually middle forward, but can close as well. There's a good chance when you look at the early pace numbers in here that they're all going to go after and get it because they're all pretty much in line with each other. So they're going to be battling, especially in a 5.5 furlong race. The lone closer in this spot, if they go way too fast, could be in an excellent position to come and take this race. So I kind of like the 3 as the lone closer, Charles. What do you think about it over the 6, or are you just absolutely no way?
I don't know about it over the 6, but I do, respect that it's going to be close. It's really the only true closer out of the whole group. But with that many horses and speed, I think you're going to have to take a horse that's either going to be sitting 3rd, 4th, 4th-ish, somewhere on there. That's going to be a much closer to that pace because that's going to be a quick finish.
Yeah, it is going to be fast. Well, speed of the speed for me is what I like to say. When you have so many horses, you got to have the one that's going to get to the front. All right, one other one in here I wanted to consider, and this is another Wesley Ward horse, maybe because of the affinity I have with this guy over here, but Go Bears Go. Johnny V teaming up with Wesley Ward. Not a bad combination at all. This is a horse that's run in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. It did finish second. I know the last time it ran here at Keeneland, the Breeders' Cup, it didn't really fire. Kind of been off since then. But when you look at the kind of races that this horse has been running in over in England, and you'll see Group 1, Group 1, Group 3, Group 3, Group 1, Group 2, including the Royal Ascot win over there. I think this is a horse that, quite frankly, another one that maybe might come from off the pace a little bit, but I certainly think that this horse has the ability, has proven that it can beat this caliber of horses, whereas a lot of the other ones in here haven't necessarily shown that they've run against this kind of quality. So I feel like Go Bears Go, as a Chicago guy, probably should be somewhere on the ticket. Although I didn't put him on mine. Did I put him on my primary? I think I did, yeah. Guys, thoughts about Go Bears Go?
I still like my 6 better than that horse.
Yeah.
Are you going to lock him, Charles?
No.
No. Right.
But you did make a good case for that. But there's another one in here that I kind of like, and that's that one horse, and it's going to be a pretty big long shot. Yeah, it ran a kind of a messed up race this last race, but this horse has won 6 out of 13 starts, so it likes being there in the money. It's hasn't done very well in grade 1s, but I would only use it as maybe I had a little extra money to use this horse. It's not.
Yeah, you had the grade 3 right here. It did not.
He didn't
fire
do real well. So
yeah, it looks like he's to me just where its level looks like is in this area right here, where you have all of these like non-graded stakes types where the horse can get to the lead and then take him out. And I do think in this particular spot, he will be chasing a lot of other speed in here. And if he doesn't get the lead, you can see no lead, discouraged, no lead, discouraged, no lead, discouraged. Here it was the only case where it didn't get the lead, but he was at least able to smell it. Yeah. And he didn't get discouraged. So if he gets the lead, Terry, I think look out.
Yeah, he did get bumped and blocked in this last race, so that he ran. So that's a big part of why he didn't get up to that lead. But
Are we going the all button here?
I think that's what we're saying. Yeah, I think we should just press all. If we had the budget, go all, and I think you might still come out with a profit.
Pretty wide open, I think.
Yeah, all. Cody's wish, all, and then call it a day. Well, we have a lot of disagreement here, so it's time.
I even like the 14 as much as the 1, 2, 3.
Oh, you like the 14 too? We're going to throw another one in here now.
Yeah, I mean.
All right. Well, Charles, explain the reasoning on a noble reflection.
With another one that has speed. It's his 3rd start after a layoff. You know how I feel about that. Trainer gets 21% at that angle. Cuts back in distance.
All right. I'm going to go ahead. What's the trainer's last name there, Charles?
Oh, no. I always butcher it. No, I won't.
Papa Ramadamadu. I'm going to go with that.
Papa Ramadamadu.
That's what it looks like.
It's not that, I can tell you that, but I'm not gonna.
Yeah. It is moving up it is moving up the speed ladder for sure. You gotta like that one over there, and also you have to like after the horse came off of its best run. Since then, on April the 9th, had 2 workouts against a pretty good crowded company. A couple bullets there, so maybe it is indeed a horse to look at.
Yeah, well, put off the site there, and we can make a decision later on.
Looks like we're going to all that race right there. So we're only in agreement on 3 horses, huh? All right. Well, let's try to find race number 8. Some agreement there. Then maybe come back and stick all of them in there. Race number 8 is the Pat Day Mile. In fact, I think my favorite pick of the day, may not win, is going to run in the Pat Day Mile here. I think it's a horse that has a really good shot to win, a pretty decent odds today. So I'm going to start the betting here. It is my favorite horse of the day, so I probably just jinxed it so y'all can fade the heck out of it. But I'm going to start with number 1, Kangaroo Court. Is making that 3rd start off of a layoff, as you like Charles so much. When you look at the horse, continues to trend right, continues to run in the front, and is really only a half of a length away from being undefeated in 4. You see that down here. But what I like about that loss, if you can like anything about a loss, is over here you see all of the horses that were in that race that finished around there, all of their names are italicized, meaning they came back to win their next race. So he didn't lose to a bunch of jamokes, lost to winning horses. Yeah. That tells me that's the key race. So you're going to have to be a good horse to beat that horse is what this tells me, Charles. What do you say?
I think it's a 2-horse race.
Is that one of them?
That's one of them.
That's my second choice, yeah.
All right. So starting in the right place.
Yeah, I think it's a 2-horse race. So I agree. This is one of them that you have to beat, but I think the 5 is the other one.
Ooh, so then that's not a 2-horse race because I like another one here. But all right,
I do too. I
tell
like
us about
another
the
one.
5.
The 5 has the speed. Second start after a layoff. Steve Ashmanson gets 19% with that angle. He got a hot jockey last 7 days. He won the last race. He was out. I think he's going to be tough.
So he was trying to get on the Kentucky Derby Trail too. As you can see here, Echo again running in those qualifiers. Here's a little bit of a worry for me, Charles. You mentioned the second off the claim. Second off the claim really didn't do anything, kind of just stopped. Second off the break.
Yeah.
Second off the layoff here too. Stopped again. And sometimes you see in these horses, there are horses for whatever reason that have that situation where they run, break, run, break, run, break. Those two first, it's a small trend, but right now it's a very concerning trend for me.
Yeah, but I just think that, even though Steve is an excellent trainer, we all know that, but I think he moved that horse up probably maybe too fast and too far at from his maiden to his second race. He should have probably maybe gone to a mile or 7.5 furlongs, 7 furlongs, something like that. But I'm not going to second guess him. I'm sure he felt something about the horse, but that could be probably the problem there. The second time that he stopped, something went awry there. He pulled up. So who knows what it could have been? It could have been a breathing problem of some sort. It could have just been mucus and maybe not even bleeding. But he did put Lasix on last time. But he's taking Lasix back off, of course, because it's a big race. That's okay. It's just maybe I'm thinking it was probably more mucus when I'm thinking now about that.
All right. I think, based upon his debut, when he runs, when you look at these two races, when he runs right, the horse is definitely one that can factor in here and can factor in a big way. So I'm not opposed to that one, Terry. Are you going to veto it, Terry?
No, I'm not opposed to it at all. It's actually, it's one of my picks. So,
and you mentioned that Charles early up said it's a 2-horse race. When he picked the 5, that wasn't the horse that you were expecting. Which one is it?
I like number 9, General Jim.
Oh,
he won his last race at Gulfstream, and the jockey in the last 7 days. It's been in the money, 16 times out of 24 starts, 7 wins, 5 seconds, and 4 thirds.
Yeah, that was my third choice. So.
Luis Saez just smoking it up there. Yeah. So this one is definitely run well. You got a couple of thirds in here. Horse is making the first start off the break. What's its first start off the break record look like? Has a W, finished third here in its debut. You can excuse the debut, perhaps. Some of the work here, though, on the turf. That's where the horse probably has done fairly well. Yeah, it's the nice dirt run in here in the swale. I'm not opposed to this horse at all, but that's not really the one I had in there either. When you went to the second horse, I've only got 2 horses in this race too, guys, that I feel like.
Wow.
And the one for me is all the way out here, Gun Pilot. You guys didn't like him?
Oh, no, it's my 4th choice, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't pick him. Oh, no, I'm sorry. He's my 3rd choice. Yeah.
He's your 3rd choice. All right. Yeah. So tell us, Terry and Charles, why you had him ranked so low. I don't – it looks like maybe it's not has some of the same upside that some of the other horses have in here in terms of what their speed figures have looked like. But then you got Asmussen, you got Tyler Gaffleone. Tyler loves those Kentucky tracks, Charles.
Oh, I know. I agree. That's why I put him there in the 4th spot. But I think that my top 2 are just a little bit faster.
Terry, what do you think? Put him aside or put him in?
Well, I like him, so I would just as soon have him in there. So
we're at 4 now. Any others in here you want to consider, gentlemen?
Not for me, really.
Terry,
that's about all.
How about you, Charles?
No, I'm fine.
So there was one long shot in here that I wanted to. Oops, wrong button. Let me get to the right button. There's a little bit of a bomb in here that I kind of wanted to take a look at, and that's Freezing Point, 50-1.
Ooh,
just on those odds alone, don't you think we should put him in there?
I don't know about that.
So the horse is making its 3rd start off the layoff. which you got to like, right? I mean, that's not a bad thing. You guys like that. Last time around, when the horse did a 3-race cycle, the only time in its career that it did a 3-race cycle, you can see here that it went from 7 furlongs, then stretched out a little bit. That's what we're going to do here today. In that, the horse took a huge step up in that same kind of cycle right there, ran its best speed figure in that 3-race cycle. That race was at Churchill Downs. That race was at a mile. That race he won by 4 3/4 lengths. That day, Corey Lanieri rode that horse. If you notice, he hasn't ridden him on any other day. They go back to Churchill Downs off of that same cycle, off of the 7 furlongs, now back up. Corey Lanieri getting back on the horse, coming off a pretty strong speed figure in here that kind of fits with it. Has it run off the board at Churchill? Does have a W at the distance. And let's face it, guys, at 50-1, if he hits and we have him in our pick 6, we're getting paid.
I would probably agree with that, but we have a budget for the pick 6 also.
Yeah, put it off the side for now.
I totally agree with the angle of that, but
I mean, that's a long shot. I would be putting in your exactas and trifectas. And if you have a budget in your pick 3s and pick 4s, you want to sneak them in there just in the off chance he comes home at 50 or 60 to 70-1 and he hits, even on your trifecta or your superfecta. I mean, if he finishes 3rd or 4th, you're going to see those tickets go up. Race number 9. So we don't have any more after the 14, after my crazy ideas, eh?
No.
All right. So the 1 1/16 mile All-American Turf Stakes presented by BMW. So run out and get yourself a BMW to support this race. I started the last one. Terry, Charles started the one before that. So I think it's your turn.
I like the 11, Carl Spackler. He won his last race at Gulfstream Park. He has the best turf speed among today's starters. So I think it's a good choice.
See, I think this is a 2-horse race, too. The horse did finish second in here in its debut against a horse that is in this race. I think it's the 4-horse.
Yeah, but it was bumped to start.
No, it's not the 4-horse. It is the 2-horse, Farbridge, who hasn't lost in 2 races either. That one did move up to an optional claiming, and the next time was bet down to 1-2. I agree with you, Terry. I like that horse, too. I do like the improvement here from race 1 to race 2. When you see they got bumped, then it hit that 102 on the speed gun. Has anybody else come close to 102? Nobody else has come close to 102. Another 1-horse Major Dude, 101. So those 2 are a little bit ahead of everybody else on there. That means everybody's got to kind of come up to those 2. And because Carl Spackler only has 2 races, whereas Major Dude has run 8 times, you kind of have a sense of who Major Dude might be. Could improve maybe incrementally. But as far as room for upside is concerned, I think after only 2 races, he has more upside than the 1-horse. Charles, do you think so too or not?
He's my number 1 pick in this race, yes.
Number 1 pick. Who's your number 2?
The 2.
The 2-horse. And that's the one that beat that one in the debut, Farbridge. And also improved in its second start off of its first start. Also showed some additional early juice in that race compared to the prior race. A little bit of a regression here at the end of that race, but it doesn't concern me as much as it would because the horse ran away from everybody at the end of the race. And as a result of that, you have to say that maybe Jose geared down. Kind of interesting in here that Joel Rosario comes back on this horse after beating Jose in the debut with the 11-horse Carl Spackler. So do you think Jose had a choice between these 2 horses?
Maybe. Probably. I would think he might have.
Well, when we talked to Jose, we asked him that question specifically, and we actually put it in as a short over on our YouTube channel, so you can check that out. But he said in a situation like this, what he told us is that if there are 2 horses he can ride, he's going to pick the one he thinks is going to win. I don't know if he was offered an opportunity to ride the 2-horse and the 11, or I would suppose that he was. I would guess pick the 11.
There's a couple of things here you have to look at, and I'm going to just point this out, and it might not even be true. Christopher Clement used to train the 2. His number 1 guy is Rosario. That means, to me, I thought maybe the owners had a favorite of Rosario when Ortiz rode it, even though he won. They probably still prefer Rosario. So when they move to Todd, they probably ask for Rosario.
I'm
I
going to
know it
say,
might be a little bit of a reach, but I mean, it has happened.
yeah, I could see that, especially since he won that race in there too. I'm still going to guess that on the other side of that. I'm going to take that Jose had his choice, and based upon what he told us, he went with the 11. Any other horses in here, Terry, that you want to start put in here?
Yeah, the one. I like the one is that the I'm sorry, I'm getting a little choked here. The 2 was my third pick, but the 1 is my second pick. You know, he ran on the all-weather track in the last race, and he's trained by Todd Fletcher, and he's ridden by IRAD, and he has some pretty good looking information there, I think.
I do like this big move. I do like this really big mid move here in race number 1 off the bench. And you look, race 2 did upgrade from an 89 to 94, and the debut went from 78 to 83 in round number 2. So just from a career kind of cycle, if you will, I would expect that the horse would probably improve in race number 2 off the bench.
Yeah, he's improving every race, and so
you can see that trend line going just like that. You got to like that. Charles, you have veto power here. Are you going to use it, or you want to leave the 1 in there?
I'll leave the 1 in there for right now.
Any others that you wanted to consider?
No, I really thought it was a 2-horse, possibly 3-horse race, and it's those 3.
I agree.
I thought it was a 3-horse race too.
I wholeheartedly agree. So that brings us now to race number 10, and I think this is the one where we singled Cody's Wish, right?
Yeah, I'm already done on that race personally.
Well, let's at least talk about 1 or 2 other horses in here.
There's a long shot I like.
All right, who is it? Who's the long shot you like?
It is the 3.
The 3 horse, and then Terry, you like the 10 you had mentioned before.
Yeah,
right?
the won the last 3 races in a row. So,
and so let me see, who did I have in here next? None of you guys are at all interested in maybe the CZ Rocket, the old man in here.
He got scratched.
Oh, then never mind. Then we don't have to put him in there. Okay, so then never mind on that one. And then White Barrio or Hoist of Gold. Any interest in either of those?
White Barrio got scratched too.
So I am too busy putting. All right, screw it. 7-horse it is. Off to race number 11 we go. So that race just got easier for Cody's Wish. Yeah. Mile and an 1/8 on the turf. The Old Forester Bourbon Turf Classic. Is that what you guys are drinking today?
I will be later.
I will also later on.
So
especially
sounds
if
like
I don't win.
All right. Well, yeah. So here we go.
It doesn't matter.
Race number 11 looks like Wolfie's Dyna Ghost is going to be a ghost on the lead. Although Bye Melvin will try to stay in its shadow. Do ghosts have shadows? I don't think they do.
No, I don't think so.
But so anyone's going to go wire to wire, Charles. It's going to be Wolfie.
That 3 is going to try, but I mean, the 10 is going to keep him in check, I think, all the way around. So I think you got enough speed in this race to set it up any way you want to look at it. And then you got to look at the simulation odds. I mean, you got the 3 again. Look at that. Slightly over 2-1, 10-1 morning line. You got the 9 spooky channel, slightly over 2-1, 5-1 morning line. So yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah. So just from our experience using these numbers with the high C zone, decent chance to get the lead, almost an overlay. But when you get 2 out of 3, those are horses you have to consider. So the 2 out of 3 horses here are Spooky Channel with the high C zone and the overlay. And then, of course, you also have Wolfie's Dyna Ghost. Big chance to be on the lead and an overlay as well. Two out of 3 horses in that mix. The race shape for race number 11 kind of has I don't know why the 1 horse is over here and the 3's over. Well, the 3's a PC type because it doesn't necessarily need the lead to win, which I think is beneficial to that horse as well. Because if it doesn't get the lead and just kind of sits off of the 1, lets the 1 maybe set a tone that's not that fast, or maybe even the 10. As far as early speed figures are concerned, the 10 does look like it, and Wolfie's Dyna Ghost are going to get there. Although Ocean Atlantique, we could give him a hard time. At the end of the race, you're going to find Up to the Mark with a 6-point advantage over Spooky Channel. The early speed, late speed combination, Earl's Rock, Wolfie's Dyna Ghost. Ooh, that speed horse in there with the overlay. Maybe going to be there. Up the Mark in there as well. guys. This one looks like it's going to be competitive race to me. In this competitive race, Charles, you start again.
Very competitive race. Yeah, this is an interesting race here. I like the 5 on top, up to the mark. This horse ran third last time out. Todd and Irad combo. As we just pointed out, he will be closing like a bomb. So I think he's the top pick, especially the one they all have to worry about coming down that stretch.
He'll definitely be rolling late. Are you worried, though, that when you look at its competition level, it really hasn't faced the highest quality of fields? It did in the Maker's Mark Mile.
Yeah, it did all right there.
Too.
I mean, it did all right there.
Had some trouble.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not like Modern Games is not a good horse. That is sort of a Breeders' Cup winner.
Yeah, yeah. But I think he's tough enough. I think he can. I get the job done. I am not putting down. I mean, there's 3 or 4 other horses in here. I can make an argument for them.
Yeah, it's pretty wide open, I think.
All right, Terry, we'll make an argument for another.
All right. Well, I love this horse. I've played it several times. Comes in from Southern California. Number 7, Hong Kong Harry.
Yep.
You mentioned that the other day, that this was your favorite horse of the day, Hong Kong Harry. Is it because of the alliteration and the name, or do you actually like the horse?
No, I like the horse. He's won 9 out of 14 starts, and he's a grade 2 winner in from Southern California. I bet on him down there, and I figured you're going to get some odds on him today. So,
well, 7-2, he might actually be one of the favorites. And then this reminds me of doing the handicapping. I guess one day I missed a Philip D'Amato horse on the turf.
Yeah.
And he's riding with Flavian over here. And I got an email. Come on, man. Everybody knows you play Philip D'Amato on the turf. So they're running on the turf, Charles. I guess everybody's got to play Hong Kong Harry today.
Well, if you look at the turf record, it's only been out of the money 1 time, and it's won 8 out of 12 starts.
Mm-hmm.
Look at how much it's won, too.
Yeah, a little bit of money in there for sure. I agree with you, Terry. It does look to me like the horse is what the horse is, in the words of Dennis Green. All these numbers are pretty similar. So it's going to run a good race. My concern is that in a lot of times when you get races like this, very competitive races, you need the horses with a little bit more, almost a little bit more inconsistency, where they have a little bit more upside, a little bit more downside, so that they can have that little extra juice to come home and outperform everybody else like that. They take it to the next level, as they say. Charles, you want to put the 7 in?
Yes.
All right. And then for me in this race, I'm going to start off with the 9 horse. Spooky Channel. This one was off for more than a year, if I remember correctly. Yes, you see the horse took off for more than a year. Boom. And then he came back. And when he came back, what did he do? He won, finished 3rd by a length, and then won again. So winner out of 2 out of 3 in that time frame in there. Horse is going to make its 2nd start off a layoff. Look at it last time out. Didn't win, but boy, a big pop in the 2nd start off a layoff number there. Here, again, 2nd start off a layoff. Boom, popped to 100. To me, this is the horse that I think, as you can see, a little bit more inconsistency in its numbers. This is the one I think has the most upside in the race. And if it finds that upside in here, I think it's one that could win this race by a length, maybe 2, Charles.
I'm not going to disagree at all.
Me neither. It's my 3rd pick.
All right. I also like this here too, guys. You see, when they got these really big late pace numbers,
Yeah.
you know that horse is going to be flying at the end of the race and give us a shot to have a winner in there. All right. So we got the 9 horse. You had mentioned that there were about 4 or 5 other ones that you guys like. So start spilling them out, Terry.
All right. Well, let's see here. Get back to my sheet. I like the 8 Satin. He likes the turf and he likes his distance, and he's got a really good jockey trainer combination. Last 14 days, they've won 4 out of 12 starts, 2 seconds, and a 3rd.
And Charles, your argument?
No arguments here.
No arguments. Terry, you did mention that he was 2 for 2 at Churchill Downs, right? So let's take a look at that. Churchill Downs, boom, right there. And he wins. Churchill Downs again. That's where where's the other one there? Well, it must have been right below it. Yes. 1 1/8. And he wins. Today's race is at 1 1/8.
1 1/8. Yeah.
So not only has he run at Churchill Downs twice, he's run at Churchill Downs twice at the distance
and won. Yeah.
and won them both. Interestingly, that's these 2 wins at the distance out of 5 tries. Another horse that's making its second start off of a layoff in here. So when we look at its other second start off a layoff, a little bit of an improvement off of the first one. And then down here, this really isn't the second start. That's the we don't know how it did in its debut, but the one chance that we do have to see at it. My concern a little bit, maybe, guys, is that the horse hasn't been able to put a lot of different races back to back to back. One of those horses we talked about a little bit earlier that maybe comes home after a race kind of sore, and then they put him on the sidelines, let him rest and come back. Any concerns with you, Mr. Ex-trainer, and soon to be a trainer again with the horse racing today horse? Any concerns for you that might be the case with Santin?
Actually, I don't think so, but you might hit on something there. I mean, when they space out those races like that, there is usually something minor. It's not major, but I think he'd be fine. I mean, Brendan Walsh, you can't doubt him. He's a really good trainer, so I wouldn't put it past him. Everything be fine.
Yeah, well, I mean, he did have the streak back here in 4 in a row, and then Tuna on Toast also like Satin here, so now we have to put him in there. Any other horses, gentlemen? Because you did mention you like more. So are there others that you have in mind?
Well, the 4, Steady On, won his last race at Gulfstream. And so it's
Steady On is scratched. He's scratched.
Oh, is he scratched, the 4?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, okay.
I think, guys, I think you have to really think about that 3 horse in here. Wolfie's Dyna Ghost. If you can get to the lead and stay on the lead, and not, I know you say the 10's going to charge, he's going to challenge him, Terry and Charles, but he also graded out as our top horse when we went ahead and looked at the early speed, late speed combination. That means he's got enough early speed if he can get out there. That means he's got enough late legs to hold on if he can get out to the front in comfortable fractions for himself and go wire to wire. And I did notice yesterday when I was watching the races, haven't had a chance to watch too many of them today, speed did hold up on the grass. It wasn't really fading off that hard at the end.
That is true. It did yesterday, pretty much all day. So,
and I know when we talked to Matt Carruthers, he said one of the things these tracks do is they juice the tracks for these big days, and speed tends to do better on big days than just a normal Wednesday might do at Churchill Downs.
Right.
I wouldn't be surprised if 3 horse get out there and scare the hell out of us at the wire.
Well, put him in. It's a pretty wide open race to me.
All right, so we put the 3 there. Now that means
now we're getting interesting.
Now we have room for about 4 horses.
So far, we're up to $36.
So that means we can put in 3 horses.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. So you want to put the 3 to the side, or you just want to go with 3 horses in the Derby, which now is officially wide open.
It is really wide open.
Oh, that's funny.
All right, we'll put the 3 to the side, and then we'll come back because we had a lot of arguments up in race number 7 as well. So why don't we do this in the Derby? I got an idea. Let's make an executive decision. I'm going to put the 3 horse here. Boom. We're going to take them out. And then each one of us is going to get 1 pick for the Derby to close it out, and that will give us our ticket. And then maybe because of the way things are structured, we can go back to race number 1, race number 7 in a sequence and probably get another horse or 2 in to get us at least going into the pick 6 with a winner in the first leg. What do you guys think?
That sounds fine. The only problem is we're going to be over $100 by $8. So
if we put 3 in here,
if you put 3 in there, yes. So, but it doesn't bother me. $108 isn't bad because you got 3 by 4 by 3.
All right, executive decision. Then 3 horses here, and then we're done. All right, who do you got? Who's your Derby winner, Terry?
22. That Japanese horse, especially with the favorite being scratched today, Mandarin Hero. He comes in from Japan where he was.
Well, he ran at Santa Anita last time out.
Yeah, he did. He ran Santa Anita handicap, the Run Happy, and he only finished by missing by a nose. And if you watch that race, he was bumped and bumped and bumped at the end of that race. He should have won that race. And he's won in Japan. He was a neck from winning 5 races in a row.
Well, if you look at his record, he's a neck and a nose from being undefeated. And I think if he comes into the race a neck and a nose, If he has that neck and he has that nose and he comes into this race undefeated with a Santa Anita Derby win, he's going to be he's going to be the morning line or one of the morning line favorites.
Yeah, well, last time I saw him it was 20-1, but anyway, I actually changed my mind and put him above Forte before Forte got scratched. So,
and I do think if he had run here and tried to go through the regular qualifying process, he wouldn't have been one that needed to scratch in. He would have won some races along the way and earned his way in. So I do think he's one of the top 5 competitors in here. What do you think, Charles? Who are you picking in there?
I'm taking the 8.
You're taking the 8 horse?
Yep.
So when I have my tuna on toast, it'll be in the oven with some mozzarella cheese on top. Rest in peace, Gordon Lightfoot. Yes. So tell us why you like the 8 horse. So you're going to put the pressure on me to pick the last one here. All right. So the 8 horse is Maggie. Okay. Well, all right. Why Mage?
I think he's the now horse. I think he's going to get the perfect trip in this whole race. I still think there's going to be plenty of speed to go out there. They're going to go out there. I don't think super fast, but I think they'll go out there. And I think he's the one that'll be sitting like 4th or 5th. And I think he'll have the lead going around the final turn into the stretch.
Likes Mage too. I'm a little, Charles, for you, I hope you're right, but I'm really concerned. I know the horse field is scratched off a little bit now. It's down to 19 horses or something like that.
Something like that.
Off slow, hit gate bumped. The only time it really got off to a decent run right there back in its debut, Gulfstream made an 84,000. I'm afraid just to me, if you don't get off to a good start, you're done in this race. And I don't really want a horse that's not off to a good start at the beginning of mine. So, all right, well, everybody got a choice. So I guess it comes down to me now, as well.
Yeah.
What am I going to take in here? Well, I don't think when we look at the our speed figures and stuff in race number 12, in the 12th race, there's not a whole lot of early speed in here. It does look like Two Phils has a good shot to get to the lead. Confidence Game, Tom's top pick, has a good shot to get to the lead. But when you look at the early lead, I think King's Barn is going to be right there, 2nd or 3rd, maybe 4th out of the gate. Has a very strong, one of the strongest of the C-zone scores in here. I think this horse reminds me a little bit of Hot Rod Charlie. And if Hot Rod Charlie was in this race, I think he would win this race pretty handily, considering what's in here. Looking at race number 12 on the, and I called it before in the beginning, but looking at race number 12 in terms of the early speed, we went through this the other day. There's not a lot of speed in here, to be honest with you guys. And when you look at the late pace figures in here now, with all those horses scratched, King's Barn is one of the horses that has one of the better late pace numbers as well. I think he sits 3rd or 4th. I think when they come around the turn, he's going to have plenty of horse left. He's not going to really struggle to be up on the pace in this race, and he's going to have a lot of late legs left. So I'm going with King's Barns, although I also was considering the one horse in there too, Hit Show, as a long shot, but the rail doesn't win that often. So for me, it's King Barnes, guys, to close it out. So we spent $108. Is that right, Terry?
Yep, that's right.
All right, so let's look it up here.
Maybe I should go back and veto something. No, I'm just kidding.
Where do you want to veto?
I don't know. I'm just messing around.
The thing that concerns me is right here, guys. I mean, it's pretty clear what concerns me is this race right there.
Yeah.
4, 10, 11, and we have more horses to the right than we have on the left, which I think is a very big concern.
It is. So,
all right. Well, there we have it, folks. There is the Team Kentucky Derby pick 6, and it cost $108. Since it's the Derby, we decided today we can go a little bit overboard.
That's
108. Right. And then our hot dog pick 6, Terry putting his in at the last moment there. There's Charles's again. There's Terry's. And then there's mine. And then our prime rib pick 6, where we don't have to worry about the other guys' foolish opinions. But we all singled up Cody's wish, and with those scratches, that's probably the case. Terry, if he gets down to the Derby, is going to be looking the prettiest of all of us with half the field in his tickets.
Oh, that's me.
Oh, that's Charles. Oh, yes, Charles. I'm used to Terry being over there on the left side. Sorry.
But I'm always looking pretty. There you go.
Yeah, pretty Charles.
Yeah,
All right, guys. So that wraps it up.
Pretty bird.
Reincarnation. Jared says that more value of Angel Empire. I think for me, I think the race is wide open. I know a lot of people like Angel of Empire. That big move late in the last race is a big move. Let's look at Reincarnation in here as well. The 7 horse. You think, I don't know, at 50 to 1, maybe. I third off a layoff. Arkansas Derby hasn't fired against the horses that are in this race. Third start did work out nicely at Santa Anita. I think the other horse is definitely better coming in from Santa Anita in terms of Mandarin Hero. The Japanese have been dominant across the planet. I can see them being dominant today. I have Hoax Kentucky Derby double going with the 15 Forte. So does that mean that
well, there'll be a consolation one for that.
Yeah, there'll be a consolation one.
Or do you get the favorite?
No, not on the double unless they've changed the rules. It's usually a consolation. But I actually have it going to the 3, 6, 10, 15, 17, and 22.
Well, I hope one of them wins.
I do too. And I also have the pick 3, that they did from yesterday to today. They did the Oaks to the 11th and 12th race today. So I've got that going.
Well, I hope you collect on both of them.
So
folks, if you haven't done so yet, there's a link down in the description below. We have all of our picks for today over at Guaranteed Tip Sheet. Like I said, every track on the planet is running today. So if you want to play Parks, we have our Parks picks. If you want to play Los Alamitos tonight, after you hit your pick 6, whatever it is you want to do, we got it all covered over there. Make sure you do that. Terry and I will return on Monday, where we'll cover Parks like we always do. Tuesday, we'll cover Parks. Charles and I will be back. Hopefully, Charles will be kicked out of Churchill Downs again today after being hot on the card. And then hopefully none of us are licking any wounds as that works out.
That's right.
And then Thursday, we'll do Belmont again. How does that sound, Mr. Charles?
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Perfect. Well, that wraps it up, gentlemen. Good luck with your picks today. Any final thoughts, Terry, before we go?
Just I hope everybody has a great time with the Derby today and all the races, and they're very lucky. And just give your loved ones and friends a hug. And if you like what you saw here today, go to YouTube and subscribe, and go to our social sites, which is Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, and also Instagram. Give us, and that's at Horse Race, the number 2 day. Give us thumbs ups and likes at all of those. Hit the YouTube when you subscribe, hit the little bell, and it'll tell you about all of our different programs. And we have lots and lots of programs.
Charles, any words of wisdom from you? Well, that's a rhetorical question. We know the answer is no. All right, folks.
I have tons. I have one. What is it today? In the 9th race, the 1 horse. Okay, you got to watch how that horse does in this race. If you're interested or are on the fence about 2 fills, this horse ran second to 2 fills in this last race. So you'll know how they transfer from that all-weather track to Churchill Downs.
Well, we'll find out if that is indeed a tip-off for sure. Well, folks, we appreciate you joining us today. Hopefully everybody does have a ton of winning tickets. Big money pools today. It's a lot of fun. Don't bet more than you can afford to lose. Hopefully you don't lose. Hopefully everything that you do today does indeed have God's favor and ends up in the only place we always want everything to end, and that is in
the winner's circle.
Indeed. Thanks for joining us, folks. Have a fantastic Saturday. See you Monday.
See ya.